Bradley, glad we could pick you up. Not far to ITI. You must be pretty excited for it, right?
Thank you for picking me up, Doug, for the lift. Much appreciated.
Anytime.
You could say excited. You could say
nervous.
Bit nervous. I hope there's no train strikes.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
That's probably the biggest worry. But you never know what can go wrong.
No, it's best probably not thinking about them, because at the end of the day.
Well, we do think about them.
Right. Yeah.
We think about everything that could go wrong and try and prevent it.
I can imagine. Yeah.
But
well, with that in mind, do you actually have any war stories for us about creating these events? Because there's so many moving parts.
Well, the two big ones. I don't know how much time we've got.
Yeah.
So I joined ITI just towards the end of the first year. We were coming to the first Asia conference, and in Hong Kong.
Oh wow!
And at the time there were, I don't remember, like the internal wars that were going on between China and Hong Kong.
Sure.
The government, like, there was a university on fire, a bridge burnt down.
Oh my goodness!
Our venue was 100 meters from the uni that was burning down about a week before.
Oh my gosh!
And that was interesting.
Yeah.
We didn't know if anyone would show up. We didn't really get much sponsorship for it because no one knew if it was going ahead. We had a competitor launch a show that was 2 weeks after ours. They pulled out.
Oh wow!
Of the event, but we went ahead, and there was still like a couple thousand people. We got together.
Incredible.
Jonathan Larson, CEO of Ping An, were doing one of the key. It was a great show, and I was like, okay, cool. I'm in a good place here.
Yeah.
At Insurtech Insights, a bit of a nervous one, but then 4 months later we had the Europe show, COVID.
So
we had 100 speakers drop out within 2 days.
Oh
and the
my
event,
gosh.
This was Thursday, Friday. The event was on the Tuesday the following week.
Yeah.
And it was just a time in Europe in March, back in 2019, where it was all going a bit crazy.
You haven't got that many wrinkles, Bradley, considering you've gone through this much stress.
Well, I can recommend you the moisturizer. We'll put it in the link below.
Please.
But no, that was, I mean, it was actually quite an interesting transition, moving to a digital media business, and we pivoted really well, I think, in comparison to some of the other event companies. We're doing weekly webinars. We became a market research business. We have a huge online audience. We've grown out hugely. So actually, like, all of the stuff we did during the pandemic
gave you a grounding, I'm sure.
Has built our brand and it's grown the events massively. So it all kind of worked out, but it's been quite an interesting few years. But of course, I would change the pandemic, but I wouldn't change how we dealt with it. So it seems to have worked out.
I mean, not many people, industries or businesses, would have had to have faced those war stories. So the fact that you've gone through that, come out the other side, and you just have that wealth of experience now.
I feel ready for
anything.
Well, yeah, I think it's a great team at Insurtech Insights, and we luckily we managed to get some amazing talent, and we can deal with a lot of different situations that keep coming up.
Sure. Well, that was the last couple of years. It's been pretty intense for a lot of people, but as you said,
I mean, everyone's gone through it in their own way.
Sure, but not many people make a living out of bringing people from around the world into one place at one time.
In person.
Yeah. So kudos to you. And now, what's next then? We've discussed the last 4 years. What's next for ITI?
So, I mean, you probably saw, a lot of people saw the announcement. We hired Megan, former president of the competition. And she brings a wealth of experience in senior roles in a lot of the big market leading brands and events around the world. So she's come in to be our president for the US, and the plan is to make our New York show the biggest Insurtech event in the world.
Wow.
It might take a couple of years, but that's the ambition. I mean, we're in the Javits Center, we're in the heart of insurance. She's based in Connecticut, and New York is all the businesses are there. The Javits Center is the biggest venue in the land.
It's right in Manhattan, right?
Exactly, right in the middle of Manhattan. So the possibilities for it are pretty endless. And we're seeing a lot of demand for the US show. So I think that's exciting for us. We've just recently appointed a president for the Asia business as well. So that's going to reignite now, and we'll be back in Asia. That hasn't been announced externally yet, so this is an exclusive.
Thank you very much.
So that's pretty cool.
Amazing. Now, while we're on that train, having such a global organization, you're creating events around the world. Is there a particular favorite moment that you've had from those where you went, wow, I'm in the middle of Hong Kong, creating an event with thousands of people attending? Have you had any amazing moments?
I think for me it was at the end of New York last year. I mean, we had 6 weeks between Europe and New York.
Yeah.
We had like 4,000 people in Europe. We were advertising 3,000 people in New York. After the Europe event, like, we had the whole company just focused on Europe. We only had about a few hundred people signed up in New York.
Yeah.
And we're such a big sigh of relief after the Europe event.
You just chucked yourself straight back into it.
We've got another one, guys. get back into the office quick. And we were all down with COVID and we were ill.
Yeah.
So the buzz and the energy and the momentum from Europe carried us through. Like, everyone was buzzing to come to New York after all the social media takeover and buzz around the Europe event. The Insurtech Week event just came together, and having all these 20 events around New York, and drinks and dinners and parties and boat rides and awards, all sorts of different cool things going on.
So it's not all work. You do actually get out to play.
Yeah, the good moment was at the end of it, when we didn't have any events for like a year. and it was just like, you relax for a little bit. We had quite a few months, and that was quite nice. Just to, we did it.
Yeah.
Because we said we were going to do it, and we wasn't quite sure.
Now that insurance is getting into a realm of its own, it's becoming almost like this futuristic dystopia, utopia. Where do you see it going? We don't have to go too far into the insurance side of things, but
that's
from what you've been
deep
hearing.
Question. I mean, just in terms of, so I'm speaking on the stage twice, or moderating a couple of sessions. One with Stan Saar, the CEO of Zego.
Yeah.
They got a 2040 vision about the future of mobility, where they think that all cars will be completely driverless, and there'll be flying taxis and things like that.
Sign me up.
They're building the insurance to.
Yeah.
Well, if insurance for that doesn't exist, then it doesn't
won't
exist.
happen. Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. And doing a session with Arta from CII about the ethics of AI. Where can AI take us, and where will it go? Obviously, there's a big phenomenon right now with ChatGPT, and it's pretty scary.
Truly.
So the capabilities. So it's
it
a
sounds
lot
like
of stuff happening. Yeah.
You've got your futurist goggles on for the next couple of days.
I'm not the expert. Disclaimer: the people I'm interviewing are.
Exactly.
So I would say come by and hear what they got to say.
But it takes an expert to interview those types of peoples, because you've got to know what's happening and shaking. So
you've got to know the questions. Which, I guess is what you're a master at. I'm
I hope so. Well, Bradley, let's kick it off then. Can you give us an introduction to yourself? Tell our viewers, your name, what you've been working on, and where we're going now.
Sure. So Bradley Collins, I'm the CCO for Insurtech Insights. I joined about 3 or 4 years ago, back when we were about 4 people.
Yeah.
My background is in events and media, so I've been in B2B events and media for about 10, 11, 12 years.
Yeah.
In various market-leading brands and industries. I have to say the insurance, surprisingly, has been the most fun.
Yeah, right.
I was expecting suits, ties, and boring people, but there's a lot of fun people.
Yeah.
And I think we entered the industry at the right time in terms of innovation is starting to happen, and there's a lot of interest and demands, and other sectors have already gone through this uphill innovation curve, whereas we're going through it, which makes it pretty cool.
We're right at the forefront of everything.
Indeed.
I mean, we're just commentators, obviously, but we get to watch it happen.
We witness it.
Yeah.
I think the cool thing about being in Insurtech Insights is we're being a catalyst for it. We're bringing the people together. We put all the key speakers up on stage for the webinars. We provide the research reports, and these events, bring the investors and the startups together. So we're helping drive that innovation and being part of it. Like the awards, we're exposing these cool startups.
Yeah.
We're giving them a platform.
An incubator, effectively.
In a way, I would say so.
That's absolutely brilliant, and especially when I think it's fair to say that there's a pretty much the whole world is at some point coming over to ITI. You know, you've got speakers from all over the world, right?
So there's 436 speakers.
Wow.
When I counted. The target was 200 initially, and we hit that 6 months ago. And we thought, why not double it?
So you're a man who likes small challenges.
Well, this was our CEO. He's got big ambitions.
Yeah.
And quite bold with some of the things that we do.
Incredible.
But it's incredible. I mean, there's like 130 CEOs speaking.
Okay.
Obviously, we announced Inga Bill, former CEO of Lloyd's of London.
Yeah.
Pioneer for many things in the industry, which is super cool. We've got the current CEO of Lloyd's Europe. There's chairman of AR. Like the speaker list is unreal.
Yeah.
Loads of cool startups. So I think at one point tomorrow there's going to be 9 sessions happening at the same time. So there's really something for everyone at every minute of the day, and I think that's it makes it a little bit overwhelming for some, but also there's something for everyone all the time. So it should be good. But I think a lot of people are going to feel like they've missed out on.
I can imagine that you're always going to miss something. It is like a music festival in that regard, isn't it?
That's kind of what. For me, I've been to a lot of music festivals, as I'm sure you've been to a few, and Glastonbury for me is the pinnacle.
Pinnacle.
They have 100 stages running at the same time, and this is a very small scale compared to what they do. 250,000 people, and it just makes me think like the operations involved with that.
I can't even imagine. I mean, they've had 50 or 70,
they've had
60 years to do it. Sorry,
they've had a few years to practice. Back when it was probably about 100 hippies dancing around
in the mud.
But like the ticketing system and you know, all of the back end stuff that gets like you really appreciate what those guys do.
I can imagine, and that's actually something I wanted to get your perspective on, because as a journalist that travels to various different conferences around the world, and you know. You go to these grand spaces, and maybe unfairly, you think, oh, you know, all it is just getting a space, making a few calls, like, come on, you know, we want you to talk about this, that, and one of these. But actually, there's a lot of work that goes behind it. What? I
mean, some events, that you're probably right. That is the
right. They literally just set it up and then leave it as is.
Yeah, I mean, we put a lot of. There's a lot of work. I think the first thing is the speakers.
Yeah. Okay.
And when we first started out, we had Eleni Chan, who was amazing. She was the first person working on the content. Getting the first few big names is the challenge, because they're joining something that's unknown. Yep. But we're in a lucky position now where we get, I had the group CIO of one of the top 10 insurers, write to me on LinkedIn a few months ago saying, hey, can I speak at your event? And once you've established yourself as the event, that job becomes a little bit easier, but
not easy.
It's not easy, and I know like the Jesper and Emil right now are working insanely hard. There's so much. When you have 430 speakers organizing the preparation calls, what are they all going to be talking about? Who speaks on what panel? It's a real puzzle. Yeah. Making sure that you have all of the slides ready for every single session. So those guys are doing an absolute amazing job. It's definitely the best agenda we've ever done. So,
congratulations.
Yeah.
I mean, the thought I had is, putting on just a dinner party of 5 people is tough, and then you're here, as we're driving to ITI today, you've got to think about how, you've got however many hundreds of speakers coming.
Funny enough, the dinner party we're doing. So I'm personally. Even as the CCO, personally organising our dinner and lunch.
Oh, okay, wow.
Sending out invite. I've been a bit of a party planner. We've got the Guidewire drinks reception in the evening, where we got 100 like VIPs that we're inviting to. So there's a lot of.
Tell me, where's the best party to be going to this week?
Oh, that's a tough question. There's a lot of Insurtech Week events.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some that are pretty exclusive week, but yeah.
Well, there's one last night at the Neds that Lisa put together for a small exclusive bunch. I was a bit too exhausted from
I can imagine
putting things together to be able to go to that. I saw some photos from the Tapley and Quanti drinks at the Electric Shuffle last night. That was a full house. Google are doing a private drinks for about 100 people tonight.
Amazing.
There's a few others. I think Rory's taking people around London for a run club, which is going to culminate at the pub. I'm going to the speaker drinks reception this evening.
Yeah. So it was more of a drinking club with a bit of running to the pub.
It was, yeah. I think people are joining the run just for the drinks, perhaps. I think it's happening now. Actually.
Oh no way! We'll have to catch them.
We might see them.
Yeah.
We might see them.
Oh,
but no, there's a lot of I think smaller get-togethers. We're not this year. Maybe next year. We'll do a big kind of after party.
Yeah.
Is the aim.
Yeah.
We did something, an evening drinks at the Press Lounge. I don't know if you were there in New York.
I don't think I was this time, no.
That was pretty epic.
I can imagine.
It was like rooftop infinity pool or like
wow.
DJ until the early hours. And
okay, yeah, sign me up for that one next time.
We'll probably be doing that in New York this year, so yeah,
yes.
we'll see that.
Absolutely amazing. But yeah, so I mean, we've talked about the key ingredients to creating a not just a party, but a coming together, a festival.
I like festival.
Yeah,
like festival.
Right.
Yeah.
And that is obviously, get your big names in first, and from there it kind of trickles down. But there's so much work that goes beyond it.
Get the big names first.
Yeah.
I think something that we find incredibly important is getting the right percentage of personas in the room.
Sure.
The number one most important for this event is insurers, because the brokers, the reinsurers, the tech companies, the MGAs, they all want to speak to the insurers.
Yeah.
So for us, getting them is the most important. We try and aim for around 40% insurers, and then after that, it's the reinsurers, the brokers, the MGAs. Insurtechs, obviously, it's Insurtech conference.
Yeah, of course.
The investors, the solution providers, and the consultancies, and the government, and law firms, the regulators. So we want it. The thing is, if you have 100% of one, then they have no one to talk to that's providing them something.
So it's finding the balance of these ingredients, right?
It's the balance of people.
Right, so it's more like bakery than cooking.
Yeah, I don't know how to do either, but I just use Deliveroo. But,
Sure.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Now, speaking of delivery, we are starting to see non-insurance companies getting into insurance.
Well, Stripe and Revolut both involved with the event this year. There are a lot of agnostic companies entering. I mean, we're talking about Amazon and Google, maybe. Or, I think Amazon are selling insurance now.
Incredible.
Which is it's exciting, but probably scary for some of the insurers.
Yeah. So I mean, that's really going to change the industry a lot more, and I really don't know where it's going to go from there, to be honest.
Well, they have, like Amazon, for example, they have access to every single consumer in the world. Almost. Most consumers, right? So it's very natural that you buy something from Amazon, it comes with insurance, but also that they sell a whole range of insurance for everything. It's the platform. So that is big competition for the industry, and it just puts more pressure on insurers to be better at what they're doing, right? Better customer experience, better distribution.
Competition always, breeds creativity. They say.
The consumer should hopefully win as a result.
Amazing. Well, I hope that when I'm walking around, this week, I can kind of maybe get a sense of that. Not fear, but certainly excitement that there's going to be new players in the industry. And
we've noticed compared to when we first started now, there is a much bigger appetite from the insurers wanting to know what's going on.
Oh wow.
Wanting to see the startup. Like Generali, they've been a fantastic partner, but they're sponsoring our startup awards, which has enabled us to fund, to cover the cost of getting these really early stage startups to come, because they want to discover what's new, what don't we know already?
Yeah.
Like, what are these young companies? So there is a much bigger appetite. We're seeing it in the US. Some of the forward-thinking insurers wanting to do something similar with us to uncover what's new. Right, there's this much bigger appetite. So
I mean, it really does make meetups and festivals like ITI and conferences ever more important. The fact that we are now entering this, and it goes back to earlier in our conversation talking about that. It does feel like we're at the beginning of something new, and this is the best place to find out where it's going to happen, right?
Well, thank you.
So I'm excited for it.
I mean, it is. Everyone. That's the slogan. Everyone is coming. Are you? I mean, but I think really most of the key people for such a big industry. You know, I think AXA alone probably have like 200,000 or maybe 300,000 employees. So it's such a big industry, but it's a really small industry. I feel like everyone knows everyone, and you know, we've got all of the key people, the senior people.
Right, we are coming to time. Bradley, thank you so much, mate, and I wish you the best of luck at the event.
Thank you, and by the way, just a shout out to FinTech Finance. These guys are awesome.
Thanks, man.
Doug, Nicole, Ali, I mean the whole team, always fun to work with, and you know, we worked with you out in New York and we'll do so again. So yeah, thank you for having me.
Anytime, mate. Yeah, thanks so much.